Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. I realized that at the beginning of my videos I never ever say what my name is, and for those of you that are new that are watching, my name is Brittany. Nice to meet ya. Just thought I'd get that out of the way because it can be a little bit confusing because my channel name is beabookworm. Those are just my initials, so I don't think anybody cares, so we're just gonna be done with that. Okay, so I'm also going to try to make this video like 5 minutes because I don't know about you guys, but I have a low attention span sometimes for these videos, and I usually like the reviewer to kind of get to the point. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Why? I will link all of the books down below, and I will also link my reviews, so that way if you want to read up a little bit more in depth as to why I didn't like or why I liked some of these books, I will link those down below. So let's just get started. The first book that I ended up reading was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab or Victoria Schwab. Not a whole lot to say about this, but I absolutely loved it. I did a review for it. This surpassed my expectations, and I cannot believe that I waited so long to read this. I have the second and third book already, but I'm probably not going to read those right away because I have a really bad habit of binge reading. I kind of want to savor this because it was just that good. Just like tons of magic, pirates, princes, and yeah, I highly recommend that you pick this up if you're late to the bandwagon as well. The second book that I ended up reading is The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. Not sure how to say her last name. Oh, lordy. I don't know why I picked this up. I did not like it at all. I did a full review on it down below if you want to go and check out why, and I touch a little bit more in depth as to why I absolutely did not like this. I think I ended up giving it 3 stars though out of 5. If you like modern poetry, all the more power to ya. Not really my thing, but I will say this. Rupi Kaur is definitely a savvy businesswoman. My heart goes out to her for the amount of stuff that she endured growing up, but I'm sorry, her work is just completely overhyped. All of her poems read extremely monotone to me, and I understand poetry is subjective, yada yada, and don't let my review discourage you from picking it up. If you want to pick it up, pick it up. I also find that poets these days tend to underestimate the impactfulness of punctuation, and I understand some of my preferences are just like stylistic preferences, but they can be all that more impactful. How you style your stanzas and your punctuation, and it just it irritates me. Her work, don't like it. Sorry. Okay, so the next book that I had picked up, and this was part of last month's Contemporary-thon challenge, and that is The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. I'll be honest, the title is a little unsettling, but once you finish reading this, you will totally understand why the author chose to name it The Smell of Other People's Houses, and it totally makes sense. I absolutely loved this so much. I ended up giving it, I think, 4 or 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This is probably one of the most realistic pieces of fiction that I have ever read. So the next book that I ended up reading was The Circle Game by Margaret Atwood. I ended up giving this like 3 out of 5 stars, I think. It was okay. This is a problem that I had with it, and I just, this collection of poems definitely made me question whether or not I know how to interpret poetry, and I'm not the only one that felt this way. I had been going through a whole ton of other reviews on Goodreads, and a lot of people were saying that they just didn't understand this collection of poems. She writes wonderfully, she knows how to set a mood and tone to her poems, but I had no idea what was going on at all in this collection. And at the beginning of the book it says that you're following a girl, and each poem is kind of taking you through like her life, and then it kind of comes like full circle. I didn't get that at all. I didn't understand it. There were a few poems and a few lines here and there that I really enjoyed. but I think I will just stick with Margaret Atwood's books, not her poetry, because I just didn't enjoy it. The next book that I ended up reading in the month of November was November 9 by Colleen Hoover. I ended up rating this, I think, 5 stars on Goodreads. I'm gonna change that. I don't know why I am so goddamn impulsive sometimes, but this is definitely like a 4 or like 3.75 out of 5-star read. Nonetheless, I really enjoyed this, like, don't get me wrong, but it definitely had some issues. There were some underlining messages that at the end of the story totally contradicted each other, and I have to say I wasn't really a fan of the main female protagonist in this, to be honest. You're following a girl, she is like 18, she's about to move to New York, and she ends up going on this date with this guy the day that she's leaving, and then she's like, I kind of like you, we should keep in touch, and then she's like, let's meet November 9th, like once a year, this spot, this time. So they end up doing that for like 5 years, and they have no communication in between, like no texting, no Facebook, no Instagram, nothing. And I'm just like, that's just not realistic. This was definitely an unconventional love story. It was super cool, the premise. I just think it was totally unrealistic and it should have been tweaked a little bit. One of the other things, this is probably why I didn't do that well on, or in the Contemporary-a-thon challenge, was this book emotionally drained me. One of the other books I ended up reading for the Contemporary-a-thon challenge was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. So many people were like, you're gonna love this, you're gonna love this. I didn't really enjoy it. Sadly, I appreciated what the author was trying to do with this book. However, there just was not enough background information on some of the characters. I also think that it had to do a little bit with just the writing style and the lack of information. A lot of things were thrown at you, and I just, at the end, I was kind of left like, like, that's nice. He kind of just touched on different and sensitive topics, but I don't know, it was just kind of all over the place. I don't really understand the hype surrounding it. I'd still recommend it, but not for what it's being promoted as. I just think that it was still it was an okay contemporary. But. And at this moment while editing, I realized I forgot to include one of the books that I read. So I will have to discuss the book in my next video. Just thought I'd let you know. Okay, bye! Anyways, those are all of the books that I read in the month of November. December, I'm just kind of going with the flow and reading whatever I want, which is mostly fantasy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to anybody who is new, who subscribed, and anyone who's liked any of my videos. It means so much to me. And I hope that you'll stay tuned for my next video. And also, like, what should I call these kind of videos now? Because I'm thinking that I should just call it like 5-minute wrap-up videos. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And if you even care at all. I don't know.